What's up, guys? It's your boy Boss Mac back to gaming.com, and it's that season once again, Intel release season, and there's a bunch of new motherboards in town. So the way Intel does this is we are allowed to unbox, but we can't share information. So just a free face about these videos that we're going to be releasing. It's going to be just an unboxing, just an overview, since we can't share a lot of details about the processor. So just like you guys, by the time you see this, I may have started testing this, but this is the first time I opening these boxes, so I really don't know what to expect. I have seen images online, but I'm really not paying attention, so because I want to surprise myself. So without further ado, our first motherboard in this unboxing series is the ROG MAXIMUS XII X3. Boy, we are already in the 12th iteration of this board, but not all Maximus line have an extreme, so it's nice to see two successive. I think it was three. Yeah, mostly. Was there a Maximus 2? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so this is the MAXIMUS XII Extreme, as you can see right here. The packaging style is totally the same as the MAXIMUS XI. So do take note if you're looking at the shelf and you see like MAXIMUS 12 has to say 12. If you're looking specifically for the LG A1200 motherboard, that is the one right here. So check out the packaging. We have the box art right here, so abstract lines, the angle right there with the ROG logo over the side, the ROG logo, title, the slogan, words and things, and over at the back we have details of the board that we will check out once we get the board out of the box itself. So without further ado, let's open it up. But first, a lot of you guys have been messaging me, commenting in the other videos, why is my box from Amazon or some other shop don't have a warranty seal right here? Well, my beautiful audience, that is because Asus does not seal these boxes straight up the manufacturing line. The reason is they have to put warranty stickers on these things, and if you seal them, it's hard. But yeah, some stores, from my area here in Asia, the Philippines, do not seal the boxes, but I've seen once in Singapore, and I think in Malaysia they do seal up these ROG boxes. And as you can see, so we'll switch to the top cam. As you can see, there's the board itself, no static bag. And so going back to our unboxing, here we have the MAXIMUS XII Extreme from Asus in all its chunky glory. It is a big boy. Let's get this out. So as I said, I'm currently sick, so it's really hard to do this, especially since this board is really heavy. But we will persist. So how do you want to do this? Do I take out the box contents first before I do the board? Yeah, let's do that. Anyway, yeah, I'll put this to the side. So let's check out the content of the box first. So we'll just switch to the top camera because you will probably not be able to see me with this thing covering my face. So anyways, switch. And here we have the contents. So we have reviewed something similar to this packaging style with the TRX 40 CNIT 2 Extreme board from Asus ROG before. You check that out in the link below. But anyway, let's get started. So here we have the documentation envelope, and so of course we have the user guide, the Thunderbolt EX card. So I have stories for these things. I'll share with you those once we get to the Thunderbolt card. So anyway, we have the fan extension card right here. Fan extension installation guide. Moving on, we have, okay, so this is really lovely. They actually made this sticker sheet fold and put it inside these things. Usually they just smatter this thing right there. Then yeah, you're free to do whatever you want. Just flop around inside the ball, inside the box. So anyways, we move on. So we have this cable right here. Yeah, well, let's just take everything out. So anyways, in this little corner, oops, as I dropped that. Anyways, so this little compartment right here contains all of this, and I think this is what I was going to talk about. So this is the fan expert. Does say fan expert, right? Right there. So this is the fan expert fan extension card number 2, or fan extension card 2. So right there. So let me just zoom in, just give you guys a better view of what we have. So this is the fan extension card 2. So this gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 additional headers for your PC, and we have RGB. I think these are RGB right there. So RGB headers and an ROG node header right there. So ROG node is basically their proprietary technology just to share information with accessories. So I think Inwin has that, and some other companies. So do check out Asus website. I'll try to link some in the description if I do find they have a mini site for that. So anyways, we have the power connector for this one. So this uses PCIe 6-pin power right there. So I am not opening this up, these little packets, as this board, I have to return this, and they sometimes use this for you know how other medias are, they have to unbox these things. So yeah, they want it as pretty as as can be. So anyways, we have mounting screws. I don't know what these screws are for, but they're not mounting screws for SSDs. So we have SSD mounting screws right here, and SSD pads. So I'll just put this back. So, and here we have the 3M badge right there. So this is a thick little boy, nice little badge. You can place this anywhere, your case. I actually put mine on a PlayStation because I can, and it is your sticker. Do with it whatever you want. So moving on, we have the lovely installation, driver installation USB. So everything you need to get this board up and running is in this USB. How big is this? I'm not sure. Anyways, so that is your driver installation. Of course, you can get the drivers from the ROG website, and this is another SSD mounting screws, M.2 mounting screws, just to be more specific. And here we have the Thunderbolt EX3-TR. So it used to be named Thunderbolt FX, but that was, I think that was that was Thunderbolt 1 or Thunderbolt 2. So Thunderbolt 3 is Type-C compatible, so you can see right there, and you can daisy chain your DisplayPort, 2 mini DisplayPort right here. You got 2 mini DisplayPort input. These are input. So plug. I'll show you. I think it has cables for that, so you can daisy chain. And yeah, and oh, we have the Q connector right here. Q connector. double gamma. Right. So here we have just an accessory. I'm not gonna be returning this Asus. This is lovely. Anyways, so just kidding. So it's I think it's a hang. I'm not sure what they call it. It's not a hang tag. But anyways, yeah, it's a nice like little off-white thing. Badge. I have something like this on my wallet, but it's much larger. So this one's a bit more compact. So I really like it. So you do get that, just a symbol that you have an expensive piece of technology with your motherboard, and you do get this with that motherboard. It's kind of like a status symbol right there. I like, yeah, just like that's that off-white. So for those of you that are not into hype beast terminology, just check that out. Off-white Virgil Abloh, right there, the design. So anyways, put this to the side. So going back to the Thunderbolt EX card right there. So this is it has the shroud, right? It was really light. I think the initial one, the effects is really heavy and larger than this one. This one requires power right here. So there should be cables for this. At this area we have some M.2 pads right there. So I did say SSD mount before earlier in this video. I just want to correct that. These screws are M.2 mounting screws. So I'm not sure if they are the same size, all of them, but some are a bit thinner than others, and those are sometimes specific to some motherboards. Anyways, this is the ROG DIMM 2. So they have this proprietary slot in the board, which I'll show you later. But yeah, so anyways, so just take this out. So we need to demo that. So here it is. This is the ROG DIMM. So this is just a heatsink, and underneath that, as you can see right there, there's two M.2 slots. So yeah, so put this over here, put it right there, and over at the top we have a mini fan right there. And we have a mount for the fan. So I don't think this one mounts to the board directly. This uses a vertical mount, so this is just to assist the BRM in cooling. I really don't like these things, like in the X570 boards across all the brands. The X570 has a little fan on the PCH, and what if it breaks? Like, can you imagine like normal users having to replace that just to sending their boards back because their PCH fans broke? So I do hope Asus is providing this little dinky fan by itself. So hey, my fan isn't working. Just show them your proof of purchase, and they'll send you one, because like there is no need to send your motherboard back just to get a new fan like this. So I do hope we are working on that, and we have the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antenna right here. So this thing I think is Wi-Fi 6. Uses more advanced Wi-Fi antenna. So we have those. Let's just put that back, and yeah, so we have this area right here. This one is mostly cables. I think it is mostly cables. So it gets really messy. Let's just put the box to the side, and let's get started. So here we have I've seen these before. So this is a free screwdriver from Asus. Right there, another little useful tool, as well as a status symbol. Oh, you have the ROG screwdriver. You have an expensive motherboard, And along with that, you have just a replacement head. I really don't know what this long. This one contains two bits. So there's one standard Phillips bit right here. There's this really long ass one right here, which I don't know what it's from. Anyways, let's proceed. So there's the screw right there. So it's just a little extra. I'm not gonna waste your time with that. So here we have, let's do the setup first. So we have a total of, are these all sleeve? Yes, they are all sleeve. So 8 SATA cables. So 4 angle and 4 straight right there. And we have the addressable RGB cable right there as well. The other, right there. So we have another. This one is for addressable. I think this one is for the standard 4-pin, or is it? No, it's just an RGB cable. So yeah, we'll check that out in the full review. So this one is going for a full review up in our website, so do check that out. It's backtogaming.com. So going back, this is our unboxing of the Maximus XII Extreme, and these are the thermal probes. So we have, I think we have 3 in total right there. So the way these things are used, connect it to the board, and then the probe end, you connect, you place it near an area or just in the central area of the place that you want to monitor for thermal activities. So if you want to monitor the thermal atmosphere in around your hard drives, you can use that. So anyways, we have the special cable. So here we have the node. I think this is the node cable. Another node cable. No. So one of these things is a USB. One of these things is a node cable, and one of these things is the Thunderbolt cable. I really can't test these things right now, but anyways, you do get that. So one for the fan extension, one for the Thunderbolt EX card, and one for something I'm not sure. Oh, because this has, this thing, the Thunderbolt card has 2 headers, so that's 2. It gets 2 those right there. So, anyways, that's it for the cables, and of course we have the display port to mini display port. So, anyways, there's that. So we get back to the motherboard itself, and here we have the ROG Maximus XII Extreme motherboard. So if you're skipping around this video, as I said, this is just an overview of the board since I can't talk much about the details. So anyways, here we have the motherboard itself, and it is a heavy chunky boy right there. So this does have a little cutout heatsink. Why'd you not cover everything, Aces? Why? So yeah, so that's the back of the board right there, and over the business end, there's a lot of things going on, and we might need that screwdriver. Let me just get that out, because I want to show you guys what's underneath this thing, this little shroud. Let's do that a bit later on. So what I can tell you guys about this board is that it still uses the same theming concept that Asus has started with the last generation of Maximus. So a lot of people have criticized that it's not really it's a fake VRM. It's only a 4-phase instead of an 8-phase for the Maximus 11 Hero, and this thing is a 16-phase but is teamed. So 2 phases are working on one phase of power delivery. So it's technically basically an 8-phase the way it works, and we'll probably discuss that in our full review. The way Asus describes that, as the great Dr. Albert Chang from Asus has discussed with us how it works and what's the benefit. So I think that it's a better platform for that. So another important thing to talk about is from a power delivery standpoint, the differential sensing that they have implemented this one. In previous implementations, they had the voltage sensing that is feeding power to the CPU. It's located somewhere else. They have you place that near this more. They have placed that in the socket area, so the voltage should be more accurate. The how much voltage is the CPU really getting? So it's gonna be nice to see how that works in the real world, especially since they had the little fan for this thing. So yeah. So with that being said, I'm just gonna say it outright. This has 16 phases because I do believe it works like an 8-phase, but total number of phases we have 16. So we just go with that. Anyways, we have these large heat sinks covering those little chokes and MOSFETs right there. So really big ass heatsink right there. Not the largest that I've seen, but anyways, when you like see it with the IO shroud, it gives off that image. So anyways, this is a water cooling board. I really don't get that because I mean they should have just like given us a free water channel for the VRM instead of just doing it for the formula. So yeah, moving on. This is the socket area. Since this is LGA 1200, totally not compatible with like a 9th gen, 8th gen, and so on and so forth. So yeah. So for this generation, we are getting a 10-core flagship. That is the 10900K from Intel, and there might be some other processors higher than that, but we'll probably get to see that in the future. Anyways, we have 4 DIMM slots, supports dual channel DDR4 up to DDR4 4800. But of course, if you're using some of the larger dual density memories that go up to 32 gigabyte per stick, this does work on this motherboard, but do check compatibility because from what I know, this only can do like if you're filling up all 4 banks, you can only do like somewhere around safe is like 3800 or 3600, but that's I'm not sure of that, so don't quote me on that. And we have the DIMM.2, which connects to this little area. And the first time I saw this, I really loved it. On the Maximus 9 Apex, I really loved the concept. Then I got to own one of these boards. It uses this ROG DIMM.2. And the problem is, I had a Fractal Define S6. And the problem is, this was blocking any kind of radiator from mounting to the top of the case. So it blocked up AIO, it blocked up radiators, 240, 360, 280, and the like. So it proved to be more of a problem. And the same goes for any tall memory. But since there's some slack on space that I can use, the ROG DIMM.2 was so big. It just blocked the AIO fans and the radiator itself. So yeah, so I think this to the side, we go back to the board and we have the DIY area right here. So fan headers over at the top. Here's the CPU fan. So CPU fan is right here, and these extra fans are for your radiators. So as I mentioned, this is a water cooling board, so they have labeled it as the radiators. There's some RAD 1D, RAD 1A, 1C over this area. So we have the debug lid, we have the switches right here, and the start button, the flex key. So this thing, you can customize that whatever you are to whatever you want. And we have voltage checkpoints. Sometimes I do forget these voltage checkpoints exist. Mostly these are popular back in the days of extreme overclocking. They have faded into obscurity in recent times. A lot of people still use those. So some of the high-end boards still retain them. So anyways, moving on, we have the power connector. And we have dual USB 3.1. The new headers right there. So these ones are really nice if your case supports them, since they're more convenient than USB 3. This is right here. We have USB 3, USB 3, front panel connectors. So I paused right there because I was thinking, why in the hell would you just not mount these two on top of each other? I mean, you're Asus. You can just ask Lotus to make compound headers. Right there, just put it on top of each other. I do not get that. So, anyways, we have 8 SATA ports. We have a lot of headers for, again, the radiator fans and the water pump. Or this is for the flow meter right here. There should be a pump header somewhere. So let me just find that. Pump header, where are you? Jazz's fan. Well, right there. So we have 2 water pumps. Water pump header right here. So these things have different ratings in terms of power delivery. So we'll just share those information in the full review, since I'm not too sure if we're allowed to just share the slides yet from Asus. So anyways, that's pretty much it for this area. USB 2 right here, Gen 2. So these are the RGB headers. So the way Asus writes this in their little slide presentation, this thing, the Gen 2, detects how many LEDs you have in a strip. So it behaves more specific to that strip. So if you have 120 LEDs, 120 lights on that strip, it will adjust the animation so it's more beautiful. Or basically, it's just more specific to that kind of array. So, anyways, we move on. We have the Thunderbolt header over at this area, and yeah, audio. I think this is for the audio, and we have the ROG node right here. I forgot to mention that. So going over to the back, we have a lot of USB right here. So first off, let's talk about the LAN. So they put the Aquancia LAN over at this area built in already. So we have 10G LAN right here, and we have 2.5G. This uses the Intel i225 2.5G LAN. And we have Wi-Fi 6. I think this is using X201. So right there. So just a note, you can use, I think, the regular Cat 5e with 2.5 with 2.5G LAN, but for 10G you need at least Cat 6a or Cat 7. So do refer with your networking manual. If you have a 10G switch, of course. I don't think Asus has a 10G router right now. They do have 2.5G routers. The AX11000 has, I think, one 2.5G or two 2.5G ports. For 10G though, they do have switches. But yeah, so what is 10G though? So it's basically like your LAN right now, 1G. If you're using a regular 1G LAN times 10, so a lot more bandwidth. So 1 GB per second, basically, just like approximate in terms of like data transfer. So that's really really nice to have, especially if you work with a lot of heavy files. So for me, I use NAS to save our 4K videos like this unboxing. It gets sometimes like you just wish that you could just work off the NAS. So anyways, we going back, we have the USB 3.0 right there, and you have USB Type C. We have two of them, and yeah, so we have the BIOS reset switch over here and a clear CMOS. So this little thing highlighted with the white square, this is a BIOS flashback key. So all you need to do is insert a USB with the BIOS of your choice. You can upgrade, downgrade this one with the BIOS of your choosing, just with that. So that's included in the manual. And yeah, so let's take this little slide off. So I'm just checking out which ones you need to remove. But from what I can see, you need to remove the entire shroud. And this is my complaint about things with shroud. You just takes so much time. Even just those three screws, such a hassle. Because eventually, like down the line, you'll get a M.2 SSD that just flakes out. Occasionally, just you need to give it a little pat, just remove it, just put it back. Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, I forgot to mention the live dash OLED. So this thing is an an LCD screen. So we'll try to make it light up in a bit. But yeah, so I think I made a mistake. I think I can remove this just, yeah, so you can remove this one without removing with this panel. Anyways, I do hope I can put that back without loosening this. So we have two M.2 ports right there, and as you can see, one PCIe X4 slot right there, and two PCIe X16 slots right there. Where are the others? I totally don't know. This is probably the direction that most motherboards will be pursuing in this generation. We have seen them reduce the PCIe slots in the C390 era. So yeah, Z490 probably still sticking with that trend. So as you can see right there, there's two X16 and one X4. So this thing supports SLI as well as Crossfire, as you can see right there. So unique things about this board that I can talk about. Well, I can't talk about the software. So this thing has a little sound mixer or something. So if you're a streamer, you can mix sources all together and just feed that to the stream, which is just a software solution, but I find it really interesting. So some of the more important things are can really be found in actual operations. So I'm really excited to share with you guys my full review of these things. So anyways, let's try to get this thing fired up. Well, at least lighting up right there. Let me just get all the lights so you can see this thing in action. But yeah, you can make out the LCD right there. So let me just turn off the lights. You get to see some of the LED in action. So we have RGB in the I/O shroud. We have lights on the DIY buttons, lights on the back, and a big RGB in implementation on the ROG logo. So let me just give you guys a couple of seconds to enjoy that. That's really nice to see. Not a lot of RGB in these areas. So it used to be they had RGB in the LEDs, but yeah, it's really nice. So yeah, I just realized you need to lift this little cover, this little RGB cover to put the shroud back. Just sad. So much screws. So, anyways, as I am putting this back, that has been it for the Maximus 12 Extreme from Asus. And for my expectations, just not gonna share it for this one. I really have saved all of my expectations. I mean, for Intel in this generation, so I'm a completely blank slate in terms of the processor performance, but from the motherboard perspective, I think this board for a really high-end motherboard, just a little bit short for me. I mean, especially in the era of content creators, the way they mixed that in with this board just by including a Thunderbolt card really doesn't work for me. But as it is, as just the looks are really really good. I mean, aesthetically, this thing is really good, but usability from what we can see right now, I really am not a fan of motherboards with whole shrouds that you need to remove and then put back just to take out one M.2 SSD. And yeah, and also the way they implemented it just underneath the SSD, I mean the PCIe X16, which is your first graphics card. That thing heats up, you'll get random shutdowns. And I do hope this thing really helps because it is a heatsink for your M.2. What if I had a M.2 SSD with heatsink integrated? Those are just the things that you have to consider when making your decision if you're gonna buy this motherboard. So, anyways, there are a lot more to cover in the BIOS and the software, of course, the operation of this motherboard, and that comes in our full review. So, anyways, this has been your boy Boss Mac of BackToGaming.com. If you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to like the video, comment the video, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next one. And I'm really sorry for my voice and just not myself these days. Stay indoors, stay healthy. Peace.